Hey, during this session, we're going to be covering the Listing Playbook to be a top 13% real estate sales professional. This is a 13% club. For those of you that don't know me, this is Todd. And I'm going to walk you through specifically what you need to do, how you need to think about it, how you need to approach it, and tactically what you need to do in order to be a top listing agent. And specifically, what we're going to do first is, and I will include some links down below that will give you some examples of a listing presentation. But y'all, I don't want you to get lulled to sleep thinking that this decoupling of the transaction is just for the buyer side, because it's really not. What you've done is you've decoupled the both. And yes, we're more adept, more educated, maybe more trained. Maybe we, from an emotional standpoint, understand at a higher level that we've always had to provide a presentation of sorts, take them through a process, sellers, that is. But you got to do it at a much higher level today than you did before. That decoupling, it just means that we have a responsibility to guide the client through the process to help them get their goals and to make them feel comfortable with any of the changes. And there's a lot of them, right? But there always is, there always will be. So that's numero uno. There's a lot of people out there that will tell you that the process is like, hey, you got to have the right people following the right process that will get you the right product. I call hogwash. That is absolutely not it. Anybody that says that is clearly demonstrating that they just have never done it before. That is an old school, like people don't matter kind of deal. So what you really have to do is you have to know that your product is without question the best product. Once you have that, you create a process that makes sure that is being delivered over and over and over. That's the trustworthy in it. And then you hire the right people to carry those things out. Okay. So it's really product, process, people, right? So my question to you first is, do you believe that what you're doing on the listing side, if somebody were to list their property with you, that you have the best product? Well, what is that? Well, do you have the best marketing? Are you the most skilled? Do you have the right processes to deliver on a launch strategy and a marketing strategy and a lead gen strategy and a touring strategy and a showing strategy, et cetera? Do you have all of those things? If you don't, then it's going to be really, really hard for you to believe in the product. And if you don't believe in the product, well, that may be the problem. See, a lot of us have sold ourselves on the fact that it's all the same, like the marketing is the same and the people are the same. And, it's this whole idea that we're all doing postcards and we're all putting things in the MLS and therefore it's the same. I am telling you, it is not the same. Just like any industry, there are amateurs and there are pros. And boy, there is a vast difference between the two. Amateurs just aren't prepared. They don't have systems in place. They're not leveraging technology. They don't really understand what's going on with the market. They're dealing with yesterday's news. Pros, on the other hand, are dealing with tomorrow's news. They see around corners. They are the most skilled. They are the most prepared. They have systems, processes, and structures. They have teams and support. They believe so confidently in the play they're about to run will get the customer their goals, period. Right. And so we talk a lot about, well, they've got to know you, they've got to like you, and they've got to trust you. I believe that certainly they have to know you, otherwise you're never going to get an at bat. But if you have to choose between like and trust, you always choose trust. And a lot of times what I see are agents that don't make it in the business. And these are agents that, like they go like this and then boom. It's because they're so worried about likability and they forget about the trustworthiness. See, if it's just about likability when the market is really easy, yeah, you're going to get some business, but you're not going to get your unfair share of the business. You're just going to get the business of the people that already know and like you. And they're like, well, I'll trust that the system, I guess, will get it done. And when I put a property on the market, everybody's getting multiple listings. So even this person can do it. I really like them. I like their family, et cetera. In a market like this, or any kind of a changing market, you have to have trust. I might say even in the good markets, if you want your unfair share of the business, you really need to over-index on trust. So how do you do that? Well, I think it's about your product. What is your product? If you don't have a proven process for launching, as an example, then you can't believe in it. right? And if you don't believe in it, then you can't demonstrate it, meaning I can walk you through, here are the 27 steps that I'm going to go through to give you to launch your property. But here's maybe even the more important part of that whole thing is in sales, what I'm doing is I'm transferring my energy. I'm transferring my belief. I'm taking my brain and I'm sticking it in them and saying, hey, listen, I want you to think the way I think right now. I'm giving them my heart and I'm saying, I want you to feel the way I feel right now. I'm giving them my eyes and my ears and I'm saying, hey, listen, I want you to see and hear what I see and hear. And I believe so strongly in my solution for your problem that by the time I'm done with that, they're like, hell yes. I believe that this person is absolutely the person for the job and they're ready and prepared with the right product. And I believe they have the right systems. And now, hey, by the way, if they know you and they trust you, chances are they're going to like you a lot more, especially if they believe that you can get them what they want. Right. So let's go through quickly what these things are. And I've written these things down. Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. I'm going to get you right back to the video, but most of you know me as a real estate broker, or maybe somebody who's built and scaled one of the fastest growing sales organizations in the country. What you may not know is that I also work with other sales professionals and leaders that are looking to grow and scale their businesses and just live badass lives. The one place that I have everybody start, the very first spot, is the lethal scripts for the sales warrior. I'm going to give you one for free today just so that you can get a little taste of what it is that we're doing out there. So click on the link below. We'll send you the information and let's get back to the video. So number one is the interview. Do you have a printed interview? It could be on your phone, but you know what I mean. Do you have something that you go to make sure that you're asking all of the right questions? Because that's important, right? You want to be able to say, all right, well, what's your name? Duh. All right, well, yeah, it's not just about your name, right? What else is it about? Well, it's about how long have you owned the house? Have you ever done this before? What did you like about that? How much do you owe on the house? Have you made any upgrades to the house? Who else is going to be involved in the decision? Great. When are we going to get together? When's the next appointment? By the way, are you interviewing other people? Like, you should have 17 to 20 questions that you're taking people through. Now, what's interesting, if you're not prepared with that, if you haven't practiced that, it's going to sound like you're an order taker. We went through the 5 different types of salespeople, right? You don't want to just be the order taker. You want it to be a little bit more, oh, great, I'm excited to meet you. We'll get together. What works for you? Great. Let me gather some information from you so that I can best be prepared. And now we start going through and I'm asking questions and it feels very natural, right? Do you have a pre-listing process? Like, do you have a pre-listing presentation as an example? Do you deliver it in a certain way? We teach, hey, if you can, make it theatrical, right? Like, if you can catch the seller at their office, how about this? How about you deliver your pre-listing book and you deliver it to their office? And hey, how about this? Maybe there's flowers with it, or maybe there's balloons with it, and you deliver it to the front. Maybe it's not you. Maybe you have somebody else deliver it. And, they're bringing this package along with these flowers to the office, and they go into Sally's office. They put it in Sally. Now everybody goes into Sally like, what's that? Like, who got you flowers? Oh, it was my real estate agent. Pretty good. Yeah. You get them talking about you, but you're doing something that's special. That pre-listing presentation gives them a glimpse at you. By the way, most agents use their pre-listing, what I would consider a pre-listing, as their listing presentation. See, your process says, hey, listen, I'm already going to beat everybody to the punch. I'm going to show them exactly what all of the, I'll call it the boring stuff. It's important, but it's boring stuff in advance so that they have an opportunity to thumb through this book. Maybe you've customized it so you've got your testimonials. Again, I'll include some links so you can see some examples. But it walks them through the process. Maybe in there it's talking about your preferred mortgage lender, Maverick Capital, right? Maybe you've got in there your title, your closer, or your favorite inspector and your home warranties, et cetera. Maybe you got in there what the process is so that you're already checking some of the boxes in advance. It's a very, very high level of touch and professionalism. Next one was your activation email. So now I've scheduled the appointment. I'm going to go out on my listing presentation. Now, I know a lot of agents will go out on a listing presentation, they'll go back and they'll fabricate some buyers that may be interested in that property. And then they'll call and say, hey, listen, by the way, I think I have some buyers. Well, how about this strategy? What if in advance of you going to the appointment, you send out an email to your entire database saying, hey, I have an opportunity. I'm going to go out on a listing appointment I'm going to meet with a seller who's interested in potentially selling their property. They've got a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. It's on a 1/4 acre. It's in this general vicinity. Don't really know yet what the pricing is going to be, but if you or somebody you know might be interested in additional information about this property, just reply to the email. And let's just say you get 3, 4, 5 people that say, hey, you know what? I'd be interested in that. 2 things just happened. Number one, you just ended up with 5 people that raised their hand and said, I'm a buyer. They may not be a buyer of that one, but they're a buyer, right? The other thing that you've done is now you have something to be able to go back to on your listing appointment and say, hey, listen, in advance of me coming out here, I reached into my database and I have 5 active buyers specifically looking for a property just like yours. Powerful, right? I'm already working for you before I've even gotten the job. The next one would be the recon, which is the door knocking, right? I heard something this weekend. It was 10 up, 10 down. Love it. But you knock on as many doors as you want in that neighborhood and you follow the script. I might know where the script is. It might be in the lethal book of scripts for the sales warrior. Wink, wink. Again, we'll put the link for that down too. If you haven't gotten that, make sure you get your hands on that. But what you're going to be doing is you're going to be knocking on the door and you say, hey, listen, I've got an appointment with somebody in the neighborhood that's thinking about potentially selling their home. And I just have one question. What's one reason why you love this neighborhood? And you're going to write that down. Okay. And what you're doing is you're gathering recon on how you'll best position the property, because what we're doing here is not selling, bricks and sticks. We're selling lifestyle, aren't we? We're selling a home. We're selling something that we live, right? And it's the area. So I'm helping craft and draft my marketing plan. As I'm leaving, oh, wait, one more thing, by the way. If I do get this property listed and when I do sell this property, it's going to have an impact on the value of your home. When that happens, would you like to know about it? Well, yes, fantastic. Give me your name, give me your email address, give me your phone number. Building the list, okay? Then now it's time for us to go to the appointment. We're going to have our first appointment with this potential seller, and it's called the interview, right? We are going to their property and we're going to do 3 things very specifically, okay? Numero uno, well, let me set the stage here for a second. If you're on time, you're late, okay? Get there early, be professional, be prepared, have everything dialed, be in the right mind space, be in the right heart space, be professional, bring your energy. Remember, you're the thermostat, not the thermometer. You're the pro, not the amateur. And now when I go in, we're going to sit down. How are you? Great to see you. Thank you so much for bringing me into the home. And we're going to sit down first. We're going to sit down at the dining room table, coffee table. We're going to build rapport here. Y'all, don't fall for the trap where we're going to go look at the property first, because you can't build rapport looking at the back of somebody's head or them looking at the back of your head while you're walking through. We're going to sit down first and we're going to review the assessment, that the interview sheet that you filled out, to make sure that we've got all the information proper. And then we're going to go through the contracts. Why are we going through the contracts? Well, we're going to go through the listing agreement. We're going to go through the purchase and sale agreement, and we're going to go through the buyer's representation agreement. And the reason we're doing that is, and we're going to go line by line, is so that everybody's clear that everybody's going to be represented here, because it's going to make the conversations that come later far easier, right? You're also going to be demonstrating that you are the man and woman for the job, that you're a true pro, because what most people will do is they will do everything they possibly can to avoid talking about the contracts, okay? Then we're going to do the walkthrough. After we've had the opportunity to build some rapport, because we're actually looking at each other, right? Now we're going to go through the walkthrough, and I'm going to take copious notes, and I'll be asking all kinds of questions like, what did you do here? And by the way, there's a worksheet for this, but so I won't spend too much time, but what did you do here? Tell me a little bit about this. Tell me about your experience. What do you love about the house? What's your fondest memory? If you were going to stay here, what would you upgrade? That kind of thing. Hey, just a quick little interruption. As you know, I work with some of the best sales professionals and leaders who are looking to grow their businesses, build exceptional lives on the planet. And what I'm doing is I'm giving away $50,000 worth of coaching and training absolutely free. All you have to do is enter the drawing below, click on the link, enter your information, tell us just a little bit about you, and you could qualify for $50,000 worth of free coaching and training. Let's get back to the video. And then at the end, we're going to sit down one last time and ask any final questions. And then we're going to schedule our follow-up appointment. The follow-up appointment is at your office. It's not at their property. It's not at Starbucks. It's at your office. Okay. Critical piece. So then you're going to go back and you're going to prepare. And you've got to do the work. This is where you take all the information you learned. You're going to position it from a pricing perspective, strategy, marketing. Which one am I going to do? I'm going to market 1, marketing 2, marketing 3 packages. What am I going to do? That's where you do all of that. And then when they come in to meet with you, you're going to give your presentation. And your presentation isn't going to be thumbing through a listing presentation like so many other agents do, right? That they've already gotten that. See, what you're going to be able to do is actually dig into the real stuff. This is how I'm going to identify the buyer pool. By the way, I've already got 5 people. They've already activated, right? We already talked about that. And maybe you've done additional, maybe through your sales meeting, you've said this is coming soon and you've gotten additional people. So now maybe you're at 17 people. And so I've already done some work for this. I'm going to use my buyer profile to identify what zip codes. Well, I'm going to use the heat map. I'm going to identify specifically where these people are so that I can then target not only my online, but also my direct mail campaigns in those areas. So that's the activation. And then I'm going to talk through my launch strategy. And you have to have a strategy. And I'm going to go through that here quickly in just a second. Then I'm going to talk specifically about how we should negotiate. What's the absolute best price? What's the bottom price? What are the terms? We're going to work through all of that at that point. I've assumed the sale at this point, right? Because now I'm talking about, all right, well, when we get the offer or offers, how are we going to handle these things? I've assumed the sale, and now I'm beginning to remove any emotion that somebody might feel that oftentimes sellers will feel when they get offers. I'm going to deal with those early. Likely, a price is going to come in at this percentage below the list price. This is what we can expect. This is approximately how long it's going to take for them to do inspections. We're going to be looking for somebody that's already pre-approved, et cetera, et cetera. And then I'm going to demonstrate that I'm the man or woman for the job because I'm going to use my reviews and testimonials, right? That's a big one. And then we're going to work through actually positioning of the property, because price is only one part of selling the property. We've got to position it, and it's our job to help them decide how they want to position it. Just because we come up with a CMA, I teach, don't come up with a price. Give them the information and help them come up with the best price. Because there may be a price, for example, that may take longer, and they may find a higher price, but it's going to take longer. And what we're really looking for is a needle in the haystack. But if we haven't done our interview properly, we don't know, oh my gosh, they need to be out of here in 60 days. Well, if they need to be out of here in 60 days and a typical contract takes 45 days, boy, oh boy, we only have 15 days to get this thing marketed and in front of the right people and get an accepted offer, which means we're going to have to position the property at a place that we get those kinds of offers. Make sense? Okay. You're going to need to make sure that you're prepared for conversations. Okay. If you don't know your scripts and dialogues, you're going to get caught. So I would ask you to really study your lethal scripts, because one of the things that we should expect is, well, I need to think about it, or, I want to go interview another agent, or, there's a variety of different things. You got to be prepared for that stuff. And it's all in the lethal book of scripts. So make sure you study those things. Go to the tab that talks specifically about listings and be ready. Practice these, role play these with your friends. Let's be pros, okay? Practice like a pro, get paid like a pro. All right, one more interruption. Hey, listen, you guys know I'm working with salespeople and leaders all over the country, all over the world for that matter, and we're all focused on one thing. How is it that we have the greatest impact and change the most lives? So here's the thing. You don't have to pay me to be your coach. I'm going to give you my phone number. I want you to text me any question you've got. I promise you I'll answer it. Just try me. 833-338-0078. Ask me whatever you want. I'm in this for you, not just with you, for you. Let's get out there and crush it and change some lives. I do want to talk to you just really quickly about what a launch plan would look like. I like putting a launch plan together. I would encourage you to put one that's yours, that you know that you will do. But a launch plan really is saying, hey, listen, I'm going to take the listing. It's going to take some time to get photos. We only have one shot at a first impression, so we need to take our time and do it properly. We've got to get all the marketing materials put together. They got to get proofed. They got to get printed. All these things have got to take place. So it gives you time to properly prepare. But you may be like, part of my launch plan is that I'm going to go into the market before the property comes live and I'm going to knock on doors. It may be that you're going to send another email to your database saying, hey, listen, I know I shared with you that I might be getting a property coming on the market. Well, I'm getting a property in the market. And here's some of the details. If you'd like early access, let me know. Again, that was also a buyer strategy activation. So now I'm generating some frenzy around it. I would prepare an open house as part of my launch strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, look, I'm going to list your property. We're going to bring it live on the market on Friday. We're going to do an open house on Saturday and Sunday. And I'm going to tell everybody on Thursday, like I'm going to make phone calls to agents. I'm going to make phone calls to my buyer pool, and we're going to launch this in advance. So I'm going to get all these phone calls on Friday of people wanting to set up showings. And what I'm going to tell them is, fantastic, showings are being held from 1 to 5 on Saturday and 1 to 5 on Sunday. That's during the period of time that you've got your open house. If what I'm trying to do is eliminate the pain that a seller feels, one of the pain points for a seller is that they have got to keep their house in show condition all the time. And anybody that knows and recently has done that, especially those that have pets or kids, knows how hard that can be. What if you could arrange a demand to see the property both Saturday and Sunday, and they could pre-schedule to be out at the soccer games or go see a movie or something like that? And then we're going to accept our offers on Monday and we're going to respond on Tuesday. Okay. So I would encourage you, again, you want to follow the mega open house process when you're doing the open house, but have a launch strategy, not a just listed strategy, not I'm going to bring it on the market, but this is a 100% like, I'm going to crush the launch. I'm going to build demand and we're going to sell your house faster, more money, and in less pain as a result. That's my listing process. It's the proven process to be a 13% or better real estate sales professional. I will see you at the next session.